Hello, fellow book nerds. This is Gabby, and today we're going to talk about some dark academia. Well, hello there. I tried my first dark academia look. What do you think? I'm probably too perky for it. Let me stare into space. Today we're going to be reviewing A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee, which is a new release. I included it in my August releases video and you guys voted for that one, and I thought I will not be able to do it because too late I realized it's not available in the UK till February. February? Why? I don't understand it. Like, in an international world like this, why would you stagger around? Anyway, I thought, oh, maybe I can buy the ebook, but if I'm in the UK, it's really hard. Like, it doesn't allow me to buy it, just pre-ordered. But then I came to Poland for a holiday and I was able to buy the ebook. So that's awesome. So I got it early. If you're in the UK, I guess this is your is it worth it shtick. If you're in the US, I've seen loads of people actually read this already, so maybe you just want to have a chat with me. Let's start with a little bit of a synopsis. So, A Lesson in Vengeance is, like I said, a dark academia YA novel. So we follow Felicity, who goes to this private boarding school. However, last year, her really good friend and a girlfriend has died in the school, so she had a really rough summer. She had to take a whole year as well, and she deferred a year, and now she's back after being hospitalized and after going through therapy and trying to come to terms with the fact that her girlfriend died. And our other main character is Alice. She is a new student at this school. She is a very famous, really respected author, and she wants to write her next book in the school because she wants the topic of the book to be the Dalloway Five. Dalloway Five are 5 women / witches that died like hundreds of years ago on the school grounds, and it was believed that they died via witchcraft. Now, the Dalloway Five are something that Felicity used to be obsessed with. She used to like look into like magical seances and rituals and all of that, and she believes that because she did a seance with her girlfriend last Halloween, that's when the angry spirit of one of the witches was awoken, and that's why her girlfriend's dead. So she's a bit touchy on the subject. She's trying to move herself away from magic while Alice trying to like bring her in. It's a sapphic romance and I'm conflicted. I was really excited about that one. Everyone seemed to really love it, so I thought like it must be good if everyone's saying so. And I thought it was so. I enjoyed my time while reading it, but I just not sure about the things it did, and I am not sure if at the end I came out feeling positive, which I don't think I did. I actually think that it kind of just it was like and then just like meh for most of it, and then maybe kind of fell off at the end as well. But that's not how I review books. It's a professional channel over here. So we're gonna go through different aspects, and you can see the different aspects in the bookmarks so that you can go to the timestamp and watch that section if you want. I'd say watch all of it because it all relates to each other, but you do you, babe, you do you. Normally first I talk about writing, but there's nothing that I wanted to touch upon in writing, so I thought we can just jump into the plot. There was a lot of things I liked about how it was written / plot, like I guess we can lump it together. It kind of felt like a dream, like the school felt very atmospheric. I felt like I was in this dark, clammy, foggy school. Like it really gave off these odd feels because even though it's school for like rich girls basically, they don't want to renovate the school too much because it like takes away from the ambiance, I guess. And there's even like a secret society within the school, like to do with witches and all this history, and you go to like old libraries and all of that. That was super atmospheric, and also just the whole story, the whole plot felt like a dream because we have an unreliable narrator. So Felicity is not always truthful. She doesn't always remember things right. It doesn't always... Her recollection of things isn't always what it actually was. So we do have this element of the unreliable narrator, which makes it kind of feel like a dream. She sometimes has like memory lapses. She'll just like jump to doing a different thing and it'll be like a time jump. It just felt really disjointed, but it was on purpose. And that's actually something I liked about the book, how it felt like a dream, and I felt like it did what it wanted to do, which was like bring this like feeling of unease, uncomfortableness, uncertainty, witchiness to it, which I think it did really, really well. So for that, I would praise it, because I think the atmosphere building was really, really good. And the whole aspect of unreliable narrator was really well executed as well. It really reminded me a little bit of movies like Heathers, for example, where it's like this 80s feel to it. It's all really weird, really strange. It's people behaving no sense whatsoever, but like it all makes sense, and it's all having some kind of like dystopian messaging to it. I don't know. It kind of gave me the Heathers vibes. I really love the movie Heathers, so it's not a complaint. It's just I'm trying to convey to you what vibes it gave me. And then a big part of the plot. This is something that I got from watching a Books and Lala's video, but she said like, I mean, I guess I caught up on it. It's not obvious, but the main character, there's like a little bit of mirroring going on between the plot and then what's happening in the story that the characters are like reading and writing about. So basically, Felicity, her thesis of her dissertation last year was supposed to be the portrayal of like witches and paranormal things versus like mental illness, especially in women in like fiction. So you know how usually we have unreliable narrator and we don't know if the magic is witches or if it's mental health, and like a demonization of women. Even the Dalloway Five, one of the theories is that they did not kill anyone. The village killed them because they thought they were witches, and then kind of like made it look witchy, so the village wouldn't get in trouble. So that's like a big theme within the book. And then it kind of happening also in the actual book. Felicity, like I said, unreliable narrator, she believes in magic, but no one else does. There are weird things happening. We don't know if it's Felicity and her mental health or if it's the actual witches. And that was really interesting that like I said, like mirroring the conversations there. But I also brought a couple of the problems I had, and I think I'm going to talk about that more in themes. But there's definitely like some disconnect that I felt, or maybe the lack of depth there, although the conversation was attempted, but maybe not executed well. So let's talk about characters. So we have, like I said, Felicity. At first, what I found really interesting about her is that she's more like the typical rich, spoiled girl that's not super clever. And like Alex, the girlfriend who died, she was the scholarship kid, super wicked, smart, really ambitious, all of that. And I feel like a lot of times when I read like boarding school or something books, it's actually the Alex that would be a protagonist. So making Felicity, who's kind of like a little bit vain, a little bit vapid, believes in all these things, is like the smartest girl in the school. Like she's okay, but she's not like the smartest girl in school, and she's really rich and all her problems basically been solved with money. Making her protagonist was interesting take because it's different, and it's usually, like I said, Alex that would be the protagonist, at least in my head. That's normally what happens, but this time it was Felicity, which was quite interesting and a different perspective. And like I said, she is an unreliable narrator and pretty much the only person who believes in magic. And she is like really, really convinced that magic's real, that magic killed her girlfriend, that she's cursed. So it was really interesting to read from her perspective. I wouldn't say Felicity was likable, but I could definitely understand her. You know, when things are happening to you and you're not sure why. And also her mom was like really neglectful and stuff. So you do empathize with Felicity. I thought I would think, oh, I need her to grow a backbone, but she did end up growing a backbone, at least I think so. And I'm kind of okay with when she went. In the end, like her character, I think, delivered. I think all the both of the main characters had a little bit of unlikable quality about them, and like Felicity and her ability to explain away and excuse away negative behavior of other people, especially her girlfriends. It's driving me slightly crazy because you hear all her talk about Alex. She's like, yeah, she could be cruel, but it wasn't that bad. It's just she didn't mean to be cruel, but she kept saying she was cruel, and I just kept being like, was she actually? Is this Felicity just making things up? Like, what's up? So yeah, Felicity was, I think, an interesting main protagonist. Maybe not someone you fell in love in root for, but nonetheless quite a unique perspective on things. Now Alice, I do not like that girl. Oh my god, I did not like her from the first pages. I feel like, to be fair, the romance isn't like the main focus, and or maybe it is, but it's not about like a cutesy love story. It's way more complicated than that. But I did not like Alice from the moment she was introduced. I just got this manipulator vibes from her, and I felt like everything she did was either up for a show or just so insincere, and that really made me dislike her. She reminds me of characters such as Allison from Pretty Little Liars. Kind of will say and do whatever it takes to get what she wants, and she'll play with people like their toys and will like push them to their limit just to test how far she can push them and see that she can. So I totally got Allison from Pretty Little Liars vibes. Maybe not seasons like whatever, but the beginning, like the initial Allison when she was just a master manipulator. That's the vibes I got from Alice, and I really didn't like her because of that. And every time Felicity would be pushed to do something she didn't want to do, it drove me insane because I was like, leave this manipulator alone. And it's like Felicity knows, but she's like addicted like to a drug. It was really interesting dynamic, maybe not a dynamic I enjoyed, but interesting dynamic nevertheless. But yeah, she's just not my kind of person. She's the tortured artist at all costs. I'm always right kind of person, so just not my person, but like she fit the story well. There was a bit of a maybe plot twist, I guess, but I was not shocked at all. It's within the character, that's for sure. So let's talk about themes, right? So a big theme of the book was mental health and like paranormal and the relationship between them, and like again how women were especially portrayed and stuff. But I just don't know that it was handled well. That was my thing. I feel like the author in the end didn't really make a point. It just kind of followed the old formula of, is it paranormal? Is it mental health? We'll never know. I mean, that's the vibe I got. And the main character is supposed to explore the theme, but she never really does, because it's like a thesis topic that she actually abandoned anyway. So she keeps bringing it up but doesn't provide any talking points. Like, I'm not telling you that you have to completely explain to me and tell me what you think and come with like a pretty bow and explainer, but at the same time, if you don't come up with any talking points, you just introduce a topic or a question, then it's a bit like, what are we doing here, you know? And this book, again, kind of just did what it was maybe trying to slightly criticize in other older works by like demonizing women and women pleasure and women intelligence by calling them witches and blaming it on that, and how that was really a little bit of a talking point also on mental health and how women were demonized for that and stuff. So like, it kind of was making that point through the thesis, but then didn't bring any interesting talking points and just kind of followed with that along. The book just fell into those old habits and didn't try to break away from them. At least I don't think it did. Like I said, it was a big theme, but I just don't know if I liked how it was handled. I don't think I know enough about the topic, but it's definitely an interesting topic, and especially like I'd love to read a thesis on this. I think that'd be so much fun. I am really curious to hear your thoughts if you actually read the book. What did you think about how it handled mental health and the big twists and all of that? Because I'm not sure about it. Not every book has to have a lesson with it, but if you're introducing, like I said, a discussion topic and you don't even try to bring up any points, I don't get it. Or maybe the author did bring up points and I'm just not all there to get them all. But yeah, I was not that impressed. Overall, my thoughts, I gave it 3 stars. I think it was just okay. It wasn't offensive to me. I didn't hate it. I didn't feel like I slugged through it. Like, it was actually a really quick read, and the writing itself was like really easy and digestible and really pretty, dark academia style. I think, yeah, it gave off those vibes, especially because there were some really pretty passages and all of that. So the book wasn't like a drag to get through. It wasn't unenjoyable, but I just didn't do anything for me that I expected it to do. It seems that a lot of people really love this book, like 5 stars, favorite book, whatever. And for me, I just don't get it. For me, it's like, okay, it's fine. Enjoyable little like mystery thriller a little bit, but nothing to like sing songs about. Like I said, the romance I was not on board, but at the same time, like, I don't think I was supposed to be. Would I recommend this book? Maybe if you're like really into dark academia, maybe if you really like secret history, maybe you'd enjoy this one. I actually did like Secret History, but maybe didn't like absolutely love it like some other people. So maybe that's the key there. Like I thought both were fine. Like I said, 3 stars. I would say if you're really big Dark Academia fan and you want some sapphic one as well, maybe this one is for you, because I feel like there's definitely not enough diversity in Dark Academia, or at least there used to not be. I feel like there's more books coming out now. They're a bit more, a little bit more diverse in the Dark Academia. If you read the book, let me know in the comments, what did you think about it? I'm super curious. And if you really loved it, can you tell me why? Like, what about it did you really love? I'd love to hear, because I'm really curious to know why people feel for this book so much. Feels like they're really really into it, but I don't get it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Did anything I said actually make you want to read the book? I'd be curious as well to hear that. If you enjoyed the video, if you could comment, like, subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Really helps me out. But that's it from me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!